You know, you got to get all your stuff together for the financial advisor. Maybe you want to create some sort of recipe book for someone. Maybe you want to create some sort of document that says, here's your social security number, your birth certificate, you know, just kind of a memory book that way. You could do that as well. Here's what you want to do, though. You really want to get rid of all your paperwork. I was talking creating, but just let's get rid of the mess. This is the NeatDesk desk scanner and digital filing system for Mac and PC. So I've got that question answered before you even ask. It's a feature price of $369.98. Easy pay, 5 months of easy pay of $74. So you can actually scan 15 receipts, 15 business cards, and 15 documents all at once. Oscar Duvall, our electronics expert, is here to show us the wow of this. Why, hello, good morning to you.
Why, good morning.
Nice to see you.
Now tell me, this is one of the coolest things to cut out all the clutter.
I'm so excited because I'm like, what am I going to do? Shred all this? What's happening? I need to keep these documents. How do I do it?
Well, watch this. I actually have close to 50 documents in here, from regular documents to receipts to my business cards. Now watch this. It's scanning everything. It's even looking at all the letters and copying everything directly to my computer. This is the beautiful thing about this, because if you're doing anything with tax forms, if you're doing anything with any kind of legal forms, from your receipts to your business cards, or you're running any kind of business where everybody has that shoebox of receipts at home that looks like a yard sale, a big cluttery mess. Now watch this. Under a minute, it's going to do everything. This is 6 months of work for me, and this is doing everything automatically under a minute. So this is cutting down a lot of work for me. A lot of work, because all of this, it's reading it and then it's putting it into your computer in what sort of way? Well, it's putting it in your computer, it's scanning it, and so you can also save it as a PDF, so people can't manipulate it or change it or anything like that. And the nice thing about it, it puts it in your own digital library. So all those documents show up automatically, and it knows where to put them. So it shows up, I have 162 receipts. It shows up that I have 50 contacts. It shows up that I have 53 documents. So everything pops up automatically and keeps everything nice and stored. So it's still processing, putting everything through. But if you look at it, it's happening in real time. It's almost done. So, okay, so it took us about a minute, and we did close to 50 documents. From regular standard documents to your receipts to your business cards. Now, everybody gives me business cards, but nowadays it's kind of difficult to carry on business cards, because, I mean, it looks cool, but you have stacks of them at home. So let's say, you know, Dan Hughes, he has like a little car restoration. Absolutely. But let's say if I didn't know what his last name was, and I didn't know what his business was, but I knew that his name was Dan. Well, I can always find it, because you can actually go right to your little search bar and watch this. Go ahead, let's see. I'm gonna go and type in just Dan, and here's the cool thing about this. Right when I type in his name and I click search, the cool thing is that it's gonna look for my database, and it's going to show everything that comes up with the word Dan. Because the nice thing about this scanner, it doesn't just scan like if it was a photo. It actually reads everything that you scanned in, letter by letter, word by word, and saves it. Now, here's the cool thing about it. I knew his name was Dan. Here is the card, which I'm going to show you right here off to the side. So here is the card, and here it shows up automatically. So what you scanned in pops up automatically, because it read. And you remember, you're like, Dan, the one who's got the auto, because it's not Dan, the one that, you know, is the baker. Because you get to see the card, you know exactly who you're talking about. And that's one of the coolest things about this. So all those receipts that you have at home, because you have tons of, because, you know, tax season's coming around. So don't remind us. I'm sorry. We got to get through Christmas first. Exactly. But all those Christmas presents? All the receipts. Yes, all the receipts for those. And the nice thing about this, the government accepts all this stuff. So if you scan all this stuff in, you can import it for your taxes. You can import it to your Excel. You can import it to all your financial management tools, because it's completely acceptable. Now, here's a cool thing too. Let's say you're somebody that does documents, you're doing reports, you're doing things that are important, but you don't want other people to manipulate it. Let's say if I had a document right here and I needed to scan it to send it to my car insurance policy or anything like that, I can sign it automatically, grab this, put it right on top of my scanner, and there's another button right here called PDF. If I press that, what that does, it actually, when it scans it, it automatically turns it into... It locks it in the information, is that right? It actually it's gonna turn, I'm gonna call it something on my computer, I'll call it doc. And the cool thing about this is that it locks it so nobody can manipulate it. So if you're doing anything like contracts, or let's say you have work that's really just for you, and now it's done. So now it is saved and now it's stored in my computer. Now I can email it, save it with my friends and family, send it to whoever needs it, and they have their own personal copy.
You know, this is brilliant. First of all, obviously, it's going to clear the clutter and reduce the clutter. If you're in a desk right now that's like me, actually, where I feel like overwhelmed by paperwork,
right?
This is how you're able to manage all that paperwork and reduce all that paperwork. The other thing that I love about this, actually, is that if you're somebody who happens to be taking care of someone else, like maybe you're in charge of your mom's finances or your dad's finances, or you know you soon will be. My mom, she sent me her will, and I was like, oh, I don't even want to see that. But these are all documents that you need to have and keep and have at your fingertips. You know, oftentimes documents can get lost, they can get ruined, they can get damaged or what have you. This is how you save them, you eliminate the paperwork, and you've got the right information. It's E225878. It's called the NeatDesk, and you can use it for Mac and PC, which is critical because that means it doesn't matter who you might be getting this for, or if you happen to be getting it for yourself, it's going to work with your system.
Right. And the nice thing about this is, I know most of us are going to our laptops, we're going to our tablets, even our phones, but we still get mail, we still get bills, and instead of keeping all that big clutter, just scan it in, and everything is saved digitally directly to your library on your computer. So no more big mess, no more yard sale of paper. Now here's something that's cool too for the people that, let's say, Rachel, are you a foodie?
I am a foodie, for sure.
So if you're a foodie, then you're like me. You like to collect your own recipes. So right now we're actually on QVC.com, and there is a recipe. It's one of David's recipe. It's called the artichoke spinach dip.
Yum.
Which is really, really cool. But this is what I want. I want the photo and I want the recipe, but I don't want everything else that's around it.
Okay.
So here's the cool thing about this. There's even an option called Print to Neat. And what that does is, it's actually built in right into the software, and what that does is it'll actually look at the recipe, format it automatically, save the recipe, and then save it in your library. So right now it pops up, and you'll see it. It'll say Send to Neat. Now watch this. When I click Send to Neat, and I click the print option, all this information automatically saves directly into my little database, and then when you do decide to print everything up, it will look like that. So everything is nice and formatted, everything looks nicely done, and there's no clutter all around, and this is what you want. You want something that you can search, just like how we search for Dan's name. You can search for clams and garlic wine broth, or you can do the blackened shrimp Alfredo, just by typing in the word, and then your recipe pops up automatically.
See, and this is where we got to, okay, you could create something for someone. So if you know a foodie, you could create that recipe book for them with all those great recipes. Now, I'm just going to ask you a question. We didn't talk about this. Is it only black and white documents? Can I scan color? Can I scan photos? What can I scan?
You can actually do everything. So it does from color, it does photos. You can do from a small little business card all the way up to a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet. And the thing is, the nice thing about this is it's got a built-in feeder. So all you do is you put your documents straight in, you press your button, and then it scans everything. So this right here, you're looking about, I would say about close to 6 months of bills and documents. Within a minute, it's going to do everything from my business cards to my receipts to all my important documents. And it reads everything for me, and it stores it directly to my PC.
Will it do one-sided and two-sided?
Well, what you want to do is you flip it and put it all to the side, and that's how you would do it. But it feeds everything automatically.
Okay, so you do one-sided, and then you flip it all over and do the second side.
Correct.
Okay, great. Love it. Mac and PC. If you are thinking it's time to get organized, or you want to organize someone, and this is the hint, this is the lovely nudge, this is it. It's 5 months of easy pay of